people did used to call it CSR several years ago. And it's not that long ago really, when less than 25% of US companies were producing a corporate social responsibility report. Now almost 80% do, just looking at the US. But it's got to change from that, because most of those really are talking about what we would call checkbook philanthropy. You know, you'll get involved in things because you feel you should do. In the future, what we would call corporate citizenship, and there's companies who do it very well now too as well, that all of your activity needs to be central around what you do. So Coca-Cola, for instance, picked on water because obviously it's a massive part of all of their products. You know, car companies are looking at making cities better. So Nissan have said that that's what they want to do in terms of their corporate social responsibility. So the first thing is that it has to make sense with your organisation. It has to be very central to your operation. The second thing is that it has to be all coordinated as activities around the world, so that you have a sense that the business is doing something. And then the third thing is that it needs to be implemented not through something which is off the side of the organisation, but is actually central to it. So it should be a part of your core communications. It should be to do with your environments. You know, if you're a car company, your car dealerships should be efficient and should be doing what they should, back again to whatever your purpose might be. And also within communications and the way that you talk. So it shouldn't be something which is a separate piece of advertising. It should be part of what you're talking about as an organisation. So that's a wholesale change really. Then beyond that, we would say that you need to think increasingly less about what you might be saying about to yourself to the outside world, but a lot more about the inside world of your business. Because Gen Y or millennial people want to see this. It's very important in terms of who they decide they want to go and work with. And every company in the world is constantly battling for great talent. I think most companies aren't ready for Gen Ys actually, and if you look at most big, what I would call legacy organisations, the big companies that have been around for a very long time, they are being led by people who are boomers really, baby boomers. And then there's the Gen Xers, who is me basically, born in the 60s and 70s, and then you've got the Gen Ys born in the sort of 80s onwards. Interestingly enough, there's less of a clash between the Gen Ys and the Gen Xs, but neither of them kind of really subscribe to what the boomers think. And they're the ones that are running companies right now, so it's a big issue. And yet, if you look at the requirements of what needs to be done as a business to actually create more seamless experiences across organisations, to be much faster to market, to be much more innovative with products and services, that younger group of people are the key to it, because they instinctively want to work in a more collaborative way. They instinctively think that the purpose of the organisation should be central to its operation, and they instinctively want to collaborate outside the organisation with other companies too. So that group of talent who might be in more junior positions in those legacy businesses are actually probably the leverage point to change the way that the organisation works. But it's a big decision required on the part of the leaders of companies to sort of effectively hand over some of the power.